This is Power Onward.
The podcast that unveils how power technology shapes your everyday life.
Estás escuchando Potenciando el Mundo, el podcast que te muestra cómo la tecnología energética transforma tu día a día.
You are listening to Power Onward.
Apa yang memberikan kekuatan dunia Anda?
What is powering your world?
Ito ang Power Onward.
Mit voller Kraft nach vorn.
This is Power Onward, the podcast that unveils how power technology shapes your everyday life.
We've all played Two Truths and a Lie, but let's try something a little different. 2 myths and a fact. Can you spot the fact? 1. Interns are only tasked with administrative work. 2. Interns shouldn't speak too much in meetings. 3. Interns leave a meaningful impact on companies. If you didn't already guess it, here at Cummins, interns don't just observe. They contribute to real-world projects, helping to shape the future. The transition to smarter, cleaner power doesn't belong to just one department or even one generation. It belongs to all of us. And the truth is, some of the most forward-thinking ideas are coming from people who haven't even graduated yet. Today, I'm sitting down with 2 of them, Josie and Mason from our global brand team. Today, they are hopping on to share what they've been working on and how their perspective is helping drive real change inside our company and out in the real world. I'm Kim.
I'm Josie.
And I'm Mason.
Most people hear power technology at Cummins and it can feel really daunting. Josie, tell me about the factors that played into your decision to intern here at Cummins.
Yeah, so I actually grew up in Columbus, Indiana. So you could say I was always immersed in the Cummins culture. I always drove past the COB and wondered what it looked like inside. And I even went on a field trip in 3rd grade, a walking field trip of downtown Columbus. And that was like the first time I saw the big engine in front of the building. And so it was always kind of a goal of mine to intern for Cummins. And I heard from multiple people that the marketing and communications teams were super upbeat and awesome to work with. And so I thought it sounded like a perfect fit for me since I'm a marketing major and I have loved it ever since. And I'm so glad I decided to make that step and apply.
Now, earlier you said COB. Mm-hmm. I'm not from Columbus, not from the area. For our listeners, what does that stand for?
It's the Columbus Corporate Office Building. So yes, it's right downtown in Columbus, Indiana. I know there's so many acronyms, but that's something I'm still learning as well.
Yeah, so Mason, I know that you have probably a different perspective of Cummins. Tell me more about how and what factors played into you wanting to come intern here.
Yeah, of course. I've always known about Cummins. Cummins has been around Indiana all my life. I've grown up in Fishers, Indiana, and it's really interesting. I'd never really realized how important Cummins was to a lot of different areas. So this past semester, I was actually at my dorm taking out my trash, and I had just gotten done talking with somebody who I actually work with now. And I look at the generator that's right there powering our building, and it's a Cummins generator. And it was really cool. It was a really cool sign for me to realize that Cummins powers so much.
I feel like people always say like, oh, give me a sign if this is the right move. And there it was. That was your sign right in front of you.
Absolutely. I had more than one sign. I actually studied abroad, and the day I came back in the airport, there were charging ports with the Cummins logo on it. So even more of a sign to take this opportunity.
That in itself is such a crazy sign because that is something that our global brand team worked on.
Yeah.
How cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know what a typical workday is like for both of you because we're on the same team. However, can you talk through some of your projects you've been working on and how you've been able to leave an impact?
Yeah. So for my typical day, sometimes I'll be in meetings for most of the day. Sometimes I'll have a lot of time to work on my own. But a lot of my biggest projects are based around Europe. So having the opportunity to study abroad in Europe definitely prepared me for these opportunities. And I've talked to so many different people around the globe. I have meetings with people all over Europe to talk about the different projects I'm working on. And it's a really cool opportunity to work with people all over the world.
Josie, I think you have some experience working with people all over the world, right?
So one of my main projects this summer is working on the Global Brand Collective. And our main initiative, what we're doing for it is empowering and aligning all of the different regions that Cummins operates in. So India, China, Europe, all the different regions. So once a month, we are doing a meeting where we're going through and all of the regions can highlight what they're doing to localize the brand. And so that's something that I never thought I would have been able to do. I think in a lot of internships, interns are kind of a fly on the wall in a meeting and they're just there to really listen. So I never would have expected I'd be co-leading a meeting with not only leaders of my team, but of 7 different regions. So that's actually been one of the most empowering moments for myself too, is to learn that interns can have that opportunity here at Cummins.
We try to make it the most immersive and well-versed and, give you a variety of experiences. So stemming from launching the Global Brand Collective and then creating new videos and updating web pages and learning more about generative search. I feel like you guys have been contributing in so many different ways that will be very long-lasting. What classes or work experience has prepared you most for the projects you've been working on?
Last summer, I got the opportunity of studying abroad and having an internship in London. So that was like my first internship that I had ever done, and it was in a whole different country. So not only was I learning different cultural nuances and even how to operate in an internship setting, it was with a whole different culture. And so that really prepared me for this type of global internship, working with all the different regions. And I think also one of my most important classes that I've taken at IU is my career building classes, and they teach you how to network and how to build a resume and just overall making good connections within your internship. So that's been amazing because Mason and I have both gotten the opportunity to connect with so many different people on the marketing and communications teams. And I think those career building classes are good to build those soft skills that you might need.
Along with Josie, I actually did study abroad as well. So I fully agree with what she said about being able to connect with people all around the globe. It's a really, really cool opportunity. And I came back from Europe less than a month ago. And it's really cool to have the opportunity to work on things that will be shown in Europe and apply those skills that I learned over there. I've had a ton of different job opportunities in my past. I've worked fast food, worked at a tree farm, I worked administrative stuff, filing, but nothing has prepared me for just how available Cummins is to let me experiment and lead my own projects and work on whatever I think would be best.
Earlier, during 2 Minutes and a Fact, we talked about how Cummins interns can make a difference. What type of impact are you already seeing that you're making, Josie?
So part of my project with the Global Brand Collective, like I said, were these monthly meetings. And one of our biggest goals in these meetings is to make it more collaborative and upbeat and exciting for all of the regions to come to and showcase what they have been doing with the brand. So meeting on a Zoom can be a little bit
Stale
and and so I've been trying to come up with ways to make it more fun with games like icebreakers and questions through polls and things like that to make it more fun and upbeat.
One of the engaging things I've seen you incorporate are just the word clouds. Sometimes starting with the word cloud bubble being built, it gives people the opportunity to provide some feedback, and then they're not having to say something. I feel like sometimes that's the holdup, right? We're in this big call with so many people. We don't want to interrupt each other by talking over each other. So the word cloud opens up a lot of opportunities. And what I've seen done is that some people put different words in like power technology or drone show. And that's when other people like chime in like, oh, what do you mean? Like, what did you do with the drone show? Or why? How do you want to put that together? And I think the ability to collaborate and take an idea, but localize it and make it make sense in their region has been really helpful for them.
Yes. And I think one of the things I'm doing in these meetings is trying to make it more empowering and collaborative for all of the different regions by incorporating things like the word cloud and other games to make the Zoom call not seem so distant, because we are from all over the world. So I think that's one of the ways I'm leaving an impact, is by increasing team morale and making it more exciting and fun for everybody to join during these monthly meeting calls.
That's awesome, Josie. Mason, what kind of impact are you seeing right now? I know you've collaborated with so many colleagues in Europe. Like, what are you seeing come together?
Yeah, so a lot of my projects are based around Europe. And so one of the things we're working on is the Europe brand video, and we're working on some of the websites that kind of coincide with that. So it's really cool. I've already done one update for a website. So it's cool to have something that's tangible and that I'll be able to show people after I'm finished with this internship and be like, hey, I did this, I helped with this. And it's something that I can really be proud of.
That's awesome. I'm so glad to hear that you guys are both having such good experiences and able to create an impact and like see some of these changes come to life in real time and be able to say, hey, yeah, I did this.
Absolutely.
We've participated in meeting after meeting, but also some things that are outside of the office. Networking events are a big part of your internship experience, right? So what are some of your favorite memories, Mason?
So some of my favorite memories, this was my second week at the internship. I really wasn't really sure what Cummins had been doing. I wasn't sure exactly how our products were made. So I was able to go to a lot of the engine plants that were in Seymour and in Columbus. Josie was able to join me along with some other people as a part of our team. And it was really, really interesting to see how Cummins makes all these products that can power the world. And being able to learn from people who work there about the intricacies of how it's created and the applications that it's for, it's really interesting to be on the other side of that and talking about it on a brand perspective.
They really make you appreciate all the small details of every generator set, every engine, and every piece of equipment that's built and manufactured there.
Absolutely. There's a lot of love that goes into every one of the engines. Like, for example, the color. It's really important for Cummins to have the red engine. So it's really cool that they do things that they don't really need to do, but they do it because
It means something.
It means something.
Absolutely. What about you, Josie?
One of the most exciting things that I've done since being at Cummins was the machine rodeo. So it was a way to experience some of our on-highway products firsthand. So I actually got to drive a semi.
What?
And it was something that I never thought I would have been able to do before. And I even got to blow the horn in the semi, and I was driving it around these like cones in this test track. So
Wait. So you were driving a semi and not only able to maneuver inside of it, but you completed an obstacle course.
Oh yeah. Never would you have thought that I would be driving a semi through these like cones in this obstacle course. But yeah, it was really exciting. And that's probably one of the networking / experiences that I'll remember the most from the internship.
That is hilarious. I cannot believe that's going to be one of your main takeaways.
Right?
When you come home and you talk about these experiences with your family, they're probably like, wait, what? You did what today?
You drove a semi. Yeah, exactly.
How would you say that Cummins has supported your career goals and helped you reach your highest potential?
So everyone I've connected with at Cummins has been so welcoming and excited to tell me about their roles and their responsibilities throughout their job. And I think one of the things that Cummins does that really supports us as interns is being open and welcome for us to talk to different people on the marketing and communications teams and getting insight on their different projects and what they're doing to help the business. So that has really supported me because I think coming into this internship, and I think a lot of interns can relate to this, is you kind of have an idea of the broader field of what you are interested in, but you don't really know the nitty-gritty of it. And so I didn't even realize there were all of these different marketing positions that Cummins had. So I really appreciate the opportunity to talk to all of these different leaders and these employees that Cummins has so that I can really understand where my strengths and where my interests lie.
I hear what you're saying. Sometimes in a company like this, you feel like, oh, I don't want to bother you and put another 30-minute meeting on your calendar. Or, I know you're busy, but do you have time? But it feels like everyone is always so willing to just sit,
100%.
chat, meet, grab coffee, go on a walk.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about you?
I've had anybody who's been like, I guess I'll meet with the intern. Everybody's really excited and genuine to help us out. They want us to succeed. And if that's us taking on a project from them or just having a quick chat about their role, about our roles, it's always a really supportive environment whenever you're talking to anybody that's at Cummins.
One thing that's never lacking is the passion that they have when they're telling you about the work that they do. Everyone really does invest in their projects and campaigns. They're not just another item on the to-do list, right?
Exactly.
Mason, what is one piece of advice you would give an incoming intern, whether at Cummins or elsewhere, to have the most fulfilling experience?
Get the most out of everything that you do. You get what you put in. So the more effort you put in, the more you'll get out of this experience. It's a really great experience, really great opportunity. And don't be afraid to ask questions. You're in a point of your life where you're not expected to know everything. You're supposed to ask questions, and even if you think it's a stupid one, people will be open to answer. So being courageous in your communication is absolutely important.
Great. What about you, Josie?
I would say become very introspective with what you like to do and what makes you excited to come to work. So when you're having these talks with different people on different teams, really ask them what they do and what their projects entail, and understand, okay, I really like this about this career role, but I maybe don't like this about this other one. And I think that's been the most valuable lesson I've learned, is just to be able to maybe not always be so pigeonholed in what you think you want to do, but to be very open and willing to maybe try something new and not be afraid to take on new risks.
Those are both really valuable pieces of advice. I am so proud to see you guys sitting across from me right now and seeing how much you both have grown during the first 2 months of your internship almost. It's been amazing, and I'm so happy you could come in and share your story so that future interns and other interns around the world can have a better view of what to expect, how to get better, and how to have an open mind with these internships.
Definitely. Yeah. Thank you so much, Kim.
Thank you. So what's the big idea for this episode? Diving into the world of power technology can be daunting. But at Cummins, we are committed to creating a culture where everyone belongs and every experience and difference is valued. This is a place where opportunities are abundant, strengths are embraced, and curiosity is welcomed. Because if we want a smarter, cleaner future, we have to start building it now, and the next generation isn't waiting.
Ini adalah
Power Onward.
Comment
la technologie de l'énergie membentuk kehidupan harian Anda.
Thank you for listening to Power Onward. Your support means the world to us. If you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review on your favorite podcast platform. If you want to dig deeper on what we covered today, check out the show notes for additional links or go to cummins.com/podcast. Until next time, Power Onward. We're from Cummins, the company that's been innovating toward the future for more than 100 years. We're no strangers to rapid change, global shifts, and economic uncertainty. We want to be your constant during the energy transition. Whenever, wherever, forever. Power Onward.